What is up, and welcome back. We are here to check out the next Danganronpa game, Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, and we're going to rank some of the characters.
Yeah, since the first one got such good feedback, we're back to
Yeah,
the second one.
there was overwhelming desire actually
Yeah,
for this. So,
comments were flooded when you guys have to do the second game, or I don't know what I'll do. Some even
so
call it best thing to happen 2020. So
yeah, it actually wasn't a very high bar, but still, it was
to
nice
be
to
fair,
hear
yeah,
that.
yeah. All right, yeah, let's get started.
So, we're going to be doing the first eight characters, because we have a lot to say about these guys, and also, we have a lot of milking to do from these videos. So,
Definitely. And last video ran a little bit long. I think it was almost an hour. So
yeah.
I'm gonna try to shorten them for you guys.
And also, you should know this, but spoilers ahead.
Definitely.
Yeah. And to lead into that, we're going to be doing this in order of death.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that is your fair warning. Click off. If not, let's get started with the first death, which is Byakuyatogami, aka the ultimate imposter, right?
Yeah, yeah. They brand him as being Byakuya, which, as you guys know, if you saw the first video, is a character from the first game. But we find out later on that he's the ultimate imposter. We don't really know a whole lot about him though. How do
Right. So the Ultimate Imposter isn't really talked about much in Danganronpa 2, mostly actually in Danganronpa 3, the anime. The Ultimate Imposter appears again, but still we don't find out much about the Ultimate Imposter
yeah,
because in that one they're also being an imposter. So
yeah. I think his whole character is that he just is an imposter. He's kind of no one. One thing I will
yeah.
say about him though is I think it's kind of funny the fact that they chose someone that looks nothing like Byakuya to be the ultimate imposter. Like you can definitely tell it's not him. He's much larger than Byakuya, obviously. I think that's like a positive note about the character. It's like not super uh he doesn't look exactly like him.
Yeah. Uh I also like how much the Ultimate Imposter interjects about food in this game.
Yeah,
Which is very off-brand for Byakuya.
definitely.
So yeah, I thought it was a funny character, but obviously died first, so
Yeah, didn't
I don't
see
have too much to say.
Yeah, I mean I'd say C or high D.
Yeah, I feel good about D.
Yeah, just because we don't really know too much, we can't really say whether he's good or not.
Next is someone that I absolutely hate. The
Yeah.
ultimate cook, Teruteru Hanamura. Uh, right, so Teruteru is the first blackened, the one who
Mhm.
kills Byakuya. And yeah, do you want to talk about why Teruteru is such a terrible character?
I mean, based on his model, I think you already can get a pretty good impression about what he's like. He's like super sexual. He's very like just annoying. He's a lot like is it Hifumi from the last game?
Right.
Yeah, he's a very similar type of character, and for that reason, I just do not like him at all. I feel like every one of their games, they just feel the need to add like a character that everyone can just hate on, and that's definitely Terra in this game. Like the only redeemable quality is that I mean, apparently his cooking's good, considering he's the ultimate cook. So that's one good thing going for him.
One good thing, but not
Many bad.
enough, in my opinion. I would argue that he deserves an F.
I completely agree. If anyone gets an
Very.
F, it's definitely him.
Also, I'm gonna remove the E row.
Okay.
Um, cool. So with that done, we'll go to the next death, which is Mahiru Koizumi. Uh, she is the victim of the second chapter. Uh, Ultimate photographer. I think there are some people who like Mahiru. She kind of butts heads with Hajime in the
Yeah.
beginning,
Mhm.
but honestly, I don't have a very strong opinion of her. I would be comfortable putting her in the C to D range.
Yeah, she was just kind of more of a background character. I mean, the things that she did do, I can't really remember. I just remember her being there and then dying. So I'd say D probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing that some people might like her for, which I don't like her for, is she's the only character that Hiyoko likes.
Hmm.
Hiyoko and Mahiru have that sort of bond, and I don't like Hiyoko.
I don't at
Spoilers.
all. Why would that make
So
some people like her? Are people like Kyoko stands
I
or
think there are some people who like Hiyoko. Um, but
interesting?
yeah, I'm comfortable with either before or after Ultimate Imposter.
Let's do in front of Ultimate Imposter.
Yeah, okay.
I always got good vibes from her. I think the only bad thing was that she was with Yoko.
Yeah, I'm not hating. Next up, we have the one who killed Mahiru,
Hmm.
Pekuyama.
Yeah.
Um, I liked Peko. I thought that the trial was super interesting when, it's revealed that Peko and Fuyuhiko have this like deep relationship and she sees herself as like a tool only
Hmm.
to kill for him or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, were you
yeah,
finished? Yeah, go ahead.
I liked her. I would put her in a C or a B. Cool design and I thought cool character.
Yeah, she's definitely a cool character. I really liked her, and I really liked Fuyuhiko. So the
Mm.
fact that they were related and they had that kind of deeper story within them was pretty interesting. Especially the fact that like you could see during the trial that he really cared about her, but she kind of like devalued herself like on her like of her own volition. It wasn't really something he did to her. So that was an interesting kind of character development moment. So I kind of want to put her in a B just because she has a lot more depth than a lot of the characters.
I agree.
Yeah, I like.
Um, Great. Next up would be so who dies first? Because in the next one, two people die.
I believe it was
It's Ibuki,
Yo.
yeah.
Yeah,
So Ibuki and Hiyoko die in this next
yeah.
chapter, but
Mhm.
Ibuki dies first. Or maybe because there was also the Black End was trying to confuse us, so I
Yeah.
don't care who died
They
first. Let's
died
just
similar times. We can just do Ibuki first.
yeah. Cool. Ibuki is, the ultimate musician, kind of a spunky personality, and someone that a lot of people really like. I'm
Hmm.
not hating on Ibuki, but I I don't like her that much.
Yeah, I put her in a similar boat with Mahiru. Like she definitely had a more out there personality. She was like the ultimate like she was like a rocker chick, you know? She was like really loud and all over the place, but she really wasn't that like involved in the story. So I don't really have much of an opinion on her. She was just kind of there. I didn't dislike her. I didn't like her. So I'd probably put her in a similar place as Mahiru.
Yeah, I would like to put her ahead of Mahiru if we're gonna do that.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I would even say maybe put her in a C because her character design is pretty good, actually.
yeah, I like how she looks,
Yeah.
and I think some of her lines are kind of funny.
Mhm.
So yeah, I feel good about C.
Yeah. Cool.
Next person, Hiyoko Sayonji. I believe the ultimate is traditional dancer.
Guess what I'm saying.
And yeah, I think her personality throughout the game feels to me like just bratty child,
Mhm.
which wasn't very redeeming in my eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely deserved what was coming for her. She was a total brat the entire game. I wouldn't say she's as bad as Terra Terra though, but she's definitely like in the same tier, I think. So I'd put her above Terra Terra in the F.
Right. Yeah, I would be comfortable with this or this, but yeah, let's
Yeah.
let's leave her right there.
Mhm.
Cool. And then next up is going to be the killer for this trial, Mikan Tsumiki,
Mhm.
the ultimate nurse.
Yeah.
I I think that some people really argue that Mikan was like a parody of fan service characters and that she was like supposed to make fun of those types of characters, but I don't know. I feel like she still played into the same tropes and I wasn't a huge fan. I feel like she was mostly fan service, despite whatever you might say about that being intentional or whatever.
Yeah, there were definitely a lot of scenes where she like would be hypersexualized. Like there were times where she would slip and land in like very like provocative uh like angles and stuff. So if I mean if they were trying to parody it, then they didn't do a very good job because it definitely just seemed like fan service. But what I will say is that the transition she goes through, because towards like the first half of the or for towards the beginning of the game, she's very like quiet and reserved, but towards the end she gets kind of crazy.
Right.
And I think something happens with the main story. Doesn't she start to remember
Right. So she
that
gets
main
the
world?
despair virus, which makes her remember her outside world or
Mhm.
her outside life. And since spoilers, they're all ultimate despairs outside of this virtual world, she remembers that she's also an ultimate despair, which leads her to go crazy. I think it's an interesting twist,
Mhm.
but it didn't feel that deserving, right? Like to me, it was just revealed, oh, she's crazy. That's why she killed. And I didn't feel very satisfied by that.
Yeah, maybe if they had done it with a better character, it would have been a more interesting. But yeah, I mean, I think in the C category, but um, I maybe want to put her above Ibuki just because she at least did something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole despair
Um,
virus thing is pretty interesting. Do you agree? Or
I would disagree, but let's put her here and see how things go.
yeah, we can talk to some more about it at the end.
Cool. Uh, this would lead us out of chapter 3 into chapter 4, and the first person to die in chapter 4 is Nekomaru Nidai, the ultimate team manager,
Mhm.
kind of the bro of Danganronpa 2.
Yes.
Um, I liked him. I thought he was fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, I liked him enough to put him in like a B or maybe an A if you like him enough.
Really, I mean, I would argue he's just a straight S.
Really?
I loved his character. He was like the most like alpha character in like the best way possible. Like he was super
Sure.
like commanding and like in charge, but also he was just a really nice guy. And there's that whole part about how he saves like is it Akane that he saves?
Yeah.
And he turns into like a robot.
Yeah.
He comes back as a robot, which makes me like him even more. Yeah, I just love Nekomaru. He was such like a iconic character. Considering you think less of him, I'm fine putting him in an A. So
Yeah.
yeah,
A feels good to me.
yeah, he was great. I loved him.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, A feels good.
hmm
Cool. So that is the first 8 characters.
Yeah,
Um, let's see.
I think we're around 20 minutes now, right? Or no?
Yeah. So we're gonna sign off this time.
Yeah.
And you will see soon, hopefully within a week, part
hmm
2, where we get down to, I think, where all the good characters are, the final
Yeah,
8.
definitely the best ones. Should we edit what we have here now? Do you want to talk about it, or do we do that at the end once we have them all in here?
Let's edit the list at the end, once we have the whole
Okay.
picture.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. Thank you for watching, and catch you next week.
Yeah, see you guys.